The Byrd Amendment is also known as the Continued Dumping and Subsidy Offset Act of 2000, CDSOA. Substance: the act is American legislation closely associated with its chief sponsor, Democratic Senator Robert Byrd of West Virginia. The act changed the disposition of funds raised from duties on imports that the U.S. government has determined to be subsidized or otherwise unfairly priced. Prior to the act, those funds were incorporated into the U.S. budget. The act specifies that the funds be distributed to the U.S. companies that file pricing complaints. In short, this meant that non-U.S. firms which sell below cost price in the U.S. can be fined, and the money given to the U.S. companies who made the complaint in the first place. Duration: Congress enacted the Byrd Amendment on October 28, 2000, and repealed it on December 21, 2005. History: on July 21, 2001, the European Commission and 8 other countries, Australia, Brazil, Chile, India, Indonesia, Japan, South Korea and Thailand, filed a formal protest with the World Trade Organization, WTO. The European Commission claimed that since 2000, U.S. companies had received $1 billion in anti-dumping fees redistributed to them under the Byrd Amendment. In 2002, the WTO ruled the Byrd Amendment wholly illegal. It said that the European Union, EU, and the other countries could introduce measures which penalized the U.S. for up to 72% of the monies raised and distributed through the Byrd Amendment. On April 4, 2005, now with the permission of the WTO, the EU announced plans to implement limited sanctions on a selection of U.S. goods, charging a 15% levy on U.S. paper, farm goods, textiles and machinery from May 1, 2005. This was in light of the continuing failure of the United States to bring its legislation in conformity with its international obligations. Also, on May 1, Canada imposed a 15% surtax sanction on U.S. imports of cigarettes, oysters and live swine. On September 1, 2005, the Japanese government introduced 15% retaliatory duties on U.S. steel imports. For years, President George W. Bush called for the act's repeal, however with little progress. Eventually, after growing pressure on multiple fronts, the 109th United States Congress in December 2005 and January 2006 repealed the amendment. The act's provisions stayed in place until October 1, 2007, and money continued to be redirected to companies during this time. For example, American-Italian Pasta Company, in a Form 10Q dated August 6, 2008, recognized dumping and subsidy offset payments attributed to the act of $2.959 million for its fiscal year 2007 and $4.64 million for fiscal year 2008. References: external links. BBC News: EU may fight against the bill. WTO ruling. Proposed European sanctions on U.S. goods. Canada authorized to sanction the United States for Byrd Amendment from Foreign Affairs and International Trade Canada. Dispute page for DS 217, the CDSOA from World Trade Organization. A brief history of the bill from ebyerinc.com.